Hello everyone, hello. I hope y'all can hear me, with this loud AC, but I wanted to tell y'all something. I'm always touching my face, right? But I wanted to tell y'all something that is shocking. Basically, okay. So here, right? This is rain, right? So this is the rain from July 22nd, right? And I left it on in the freezer ever since, right? So today I decided, hey, I'm gonna taste it. It tastes like tears. I kid you not. It's salty and it tastes like sweat and tears, right? And I'm like, so is this water coming from a giant, right? It's so salty and it's salty and it tastes sweaty. Like just imagine if you go to a gym or you come from playing basketball or you come from dancing, your clothes is soaking wet and you just squeeze it, right? You just squeeze it and then you forgot to wash your hands and you decide to lick your hands for eating something. You like, I'm telling you, that's what it tastes like, right? It's salty and sweaty. Now the whole point of this is because the whole point of the video is I kept I made a video about giants, right? And how God used them for so many things cuz he made them evil spirits of the world, right? Not in the world, of the world, meaning that's how big they was. They were so big that he tested. He's like, okay, if they are this big, in flesh, imagine in spirit. So when he killed them, they was so big they had to be outside of the earth to become the evil spirits of the earth. That's how big they was, right? So anyways, I kept talking to God about giants and giants and giants. All of a sudden, it was raining so hard, I put that little cup outside of the window. I freezed it, and next thing you know, I taste it, and I'm like, it has to be the giants, right? Because if you think that the earth is the one that's making it rain, no, it isn't. It's coming from somewhere. Because in that case, then all the trees would tell you, stop sucking the lollipop like that, right? The tree would talk to you. Or the tree would tell you, what are you doing? What are you turning me into? Toilet paper. For what? Right? The tree will talk to you and will warn you to leave it alone. But does it do it? No. So meaning the earth doesn't have no power at all. Right? But yet when Jesus Christ said, if they hate you, remember that the world hated me first. He's talking about the people in it. Especially the people that you cannot see. But he can. Right? So what I'm really trying to say is that when you are a celestial, you don't have to worry about anything. Because the earth is a celestial. It's a celestial body. So the earth can go to hell. Now, can it? No. Many of you out there, believe it or not, when God says, don't be a part of the world, you become the world, right? When he says you become the world, meaning you become the people in it. So he expects you to be earth, right? Because he's saying earth doesn't have hands. Earth doesn't have legs. Earth doesn't have eyes. Earth doesn't have a mouth. It doesn't have a nose. You do. So I'd rather you be the earth than to be a part of it, right? So when he said to be a part of it, he's talking about the people in it. So the people are evil, right? But the earth Just imagine all the trees that grow. Where these trees coming from? People. What does the earth do? Nothing. Right? The ocean with all those delicious fishes and crabs and lobsters, all that. Right? Who put them in the ocean? Not the earth. It wasn't a world. The world just have the purpose to hold those type of things in it. Right? But the world became against Jesus because the people in it. So the people's like, oh, so God, your father, is the one that did all this. Well, we taking all this fish away from you. Right? Until Jesus had to come like, oh, okay. That's your net? Now it's my net. Right? So when they saw that he had the ability to do that, they wanted to kill him. Right? They're like, no. You saying that God is your father, right? So you making it seem like all this fish is only for you. I don't think so. So he would take it away from them. Remember in Matthew with the disciples, Jesus says, share the bread and the fish, and they was like, oh, it's not enough for like 5,000 people. So Jesus took the basket with like pieces of fish and bread in it, and he lifted up, he looked up in heaven, and he prayed. All of a sudden, the fish and the bread started coming miraculously. Earth cannot do that. It cannot do that, but Jesus Christ can. You know why? Because Jesus Christ is like a earth, so he understands it more than you, right? He's a celestial. That's why it says he's the body of the churches. So when you go to church, you go inside Christ, right? So now many of you, right? Y'all think that when you have sex with somebody, it's like a game. No, it isn't. It's a personal thing. That's why they call soul ties, because some of them, they know what you do, they know what you are, and they know what you can do, right? They know what you already do, and they know what you can do, right? But imagine if you was an earth. Imagine if you was a planet. Can you handle all those voices? Can you handle people complaining about, about they waiting for their food stamps? Can you handle people complaining about they're gonna kill somebody if they keep finishing all the mustard? Can you handle when people complaining about the next time you around my daughter I kill you? No, they can't handle it. You know why? Because they was born a human. The earth wasn't born a human at all. The earth was created for humans, right? But anyways, back to the rain. So how, I was like, it gotta be the giants, but how you don't know that that's like saliva? How you don't know that that's, every time you pray to God, it's pretty much like, how you say it, like, that's all of your tears that he collected. Okay, just imagine, right? Imagine God is sitting in front of his throne, and all of a sudden you're crying. You and like 50,000 other people, 50 billion other people is crying. So he collect your tears, and he's looking, he's like, okay, this is Jocelyn tears. Okay, this is blah blah tears. Okay, this is da 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 tears. This is blah 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 tears, right? Then all of a sudden, when he collect all those tears, right, he makes sure he brings it down. He give it back to you, because maybe that's his way of answering your prayers. You don't know that, because you're not the only one that's praying. There's so many other people like that, right? Because I'm like, yo, like this water, this rain really tastes like sweat and tears. So it's a possibility that your saliva, like your words that you spoken, the day that you prayed, maybe you was sweating, or maybe the day that you prayed you was crying, or maybe all that, and God collected it and he turned it into rain, and that's how he answered your prayers. You don't know that. That's why some of you, y'all complain like, yo, it's always raining. Why is it always raining? Because it's not by your understanding. It's by God's understanding. So I honestly believe that, I mean, don't take my word for it, because this is my opinion. This is my belief, right? And you shouldn't trust men. But I am saying, if you want to, you could pray to God and ask him, right? Oh, is it true? This is what Jocelyn believes. She believes that when it rains, that's our sweat and our tears. Is that true? Right? Because I think that's how he answers prayers. Because think about it. If you ask God, right, to give you a land, and you live all the way in the hood, okay, in the neighborhood, okay, you live all the way in housing. How are you gonna go from housing all the way to a land, right? And your purpose in this land is to pretty much like have like a tennis court, right? You want a tennis court there because you love tennis, or you wanna do golf or something like that, right? How you gonna do that? So you pray to God, and the same day you pray, strangers are praying too. It's not only you. It's not only you. Even animals are praying. You do know that, right? Shapeshifters. They're real. They're so real. So don't be surprised when you minding your business, you brushing your teeth, and a cockroach is looking at you. That's a shapeshifter, right? AKA spirit. Some of them, they're jealous. They're jealous of you, because if you was to pray to be a shapeshifter, you would shapeshift right there in your room. While these idiots, they have to get out of their bodies, demons. They have to get out of their body just to enter inside a cockroach to listen to your conversation. You're not a shapeshifter. You're just an idiot. And then you wonder why you died the way that you died, because you left out of your body. Right? So, okay, so back to the rain. Right? I honestly think that one of these days, because remember, God flooded the earth for 40 days and 40 nights when it was raining. He used the rain. So that must have been the rain of all the people that died, right? It must have been their tears, because remember, the giants was killing people. They was eating them, doing unexplainable things with them, probably ripping their bodies apart and stitching them back together however way they wanted to. They probably was just pretty much abusing them, all of that, and pooping them out. I'm trying not to curse. Pooping them out and everything, and then just play with it and throw it at each other. You don't know that, right? So they killed so much people. So God flooded the earth, I honestly believe, with the tears of the people that they killed. The tears and the sweat and the saliva of all the people that they killed. For 40 days and 40 nights. That's why rain tastes different compared to the water that you buy in the corner store. It doesn't taste the same. It tastes completely different, to the point you starting to think, oh no, they must have really, this they probably really had like a really good what is it called, filter, right? They probably really, no, it's completely different. This is water from the sky, right? This is water from the skies. So many of you don't even know it, but you are a giant. Some of you are giants. That's the reason why you're so calm and you don't kill people the way that you used to, because you're humbled. But you don't know that, right? Because many of you came in the world through amnesia, right? So you came in the world with amnesia. So what did the devil do? He makes you move around. But then when you hear people talking about demonios, now you shock. You're like, no, I can't be a demon. Because I went to Jocelyn's house and I saw her taking a dump, right? But I was invisible. She couldn't see me. So, of course, if you hear me say demonio, you're going to be shocked. If you hear me say demon, you're going to be like, you're going to be offended. Because the stuff that you're doing is pretty demonish. If I don't see you, but you see me, I'm going to consider you as a demon if I catch you. You do know that, right? I'm telling you, all you have to do is just pray that if anybody is aware that they are invisible to their targets, they are considered demons if they're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time and they felt good doing it, right? Demon. You are a demon. So, I just suggest that people, you need to pray. You need to pray that if the rain is going to reconcile you with people that do the same thing what you do, which is pray. Pray that the rain will be the one to help you out, because you never know, right? You just imagine, is rain